Happy Fitness Friday, everybody. Welcome to Fitness Fridays with Tina Sena.
Hey, everybody. How you doing? Keep the letters coming. I know you miss me.
Yes.
I know you miss me.
Welcome to Fitness Fridays with Tina Sena, where every week I try to bring you some educational, helpful tips for your health, fitness, and wellness lifestyle so that you can live your best life. We talked about, are you to my left? He's to my left, maybe to my right on Facebook. So yeah, to my left. Left to left. Michael Sena, everybody.
Morning.
Ooh, Michael Sena.
Good to be here.
It is good to be here.
Certainly good to be here.
You've all missed him. Everybody's been asking about him. So we thought we'd come on today together and have a little segment together. It's been a while, honey.
Yes. But I haven't been traveling. That's the good news.
Yeah.
And just taking care of myself, getting back on track.
Yeah, we're going to give you a little update on that, right? We'll give you an
Strong
update.
like bull.
Yeah, you're what? We're 6 weeks post heart attack?
Yep.
6 weeks post heart attack tomorrow.
So should we tell everybody what I've been doing?
Yeah, so tomorrow will be, is it 6 weeks tomorrow?
Yes.
6 weeks tomorrow, Michael Sena post heart attack. Everybody, look at this guy. Look how awesome he looks and feels. We're going to talk about that, which is exactly why Michael's on today, because as you know, holidays are upon us. Believe it or not, it's December 13th today, Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Right after the full moon last night. I don't know what any of that means, but that's what happened. That's what's happening. It's beautiful here in Texas, y'all, in the Midwest. I'm sorry, it's like 75 degrees today.
Woo!
So we don't really know that it's Christmas here around here. It feels weird. This is our first time out of the cold and snow that we've experienced Christmas. So anyway, we're super excited about the holidays, but we know that a lot of people struggle with the holidays. Last month, we talked to you very specifically about the struggles with food and exercise. So I brought some other health and fitness professionals on. I brought a nutritionist, Jessica Walker. You were awesome. Thank you so much. You gave us such great guidance and tips on how to keep our food in line while we're doing all these parties. I was just at a holiday party last night. There was food everywhere. So I was smart enough to eat a little something before I left for the party.
Great tip.
And then I actually brought a dish that I knew I could not only eat myself, but that, would be healthy for everybody else too. So that's also something else that we've encouraged you all to do. Bring a healthy dish to the party, and then, you can always nash on that too, but you should always eat something before you go. So this month, December, that was November, December, we wanted to focus a little bit more specifically on the emotional struggles that we go through during the holidays. We all go through emotional struggles just every day in life, as it is, and that's nothing to be ashamed or embarrassed about. That's what we're going to touch on today. But we wanted to just, we know that the holidays brings us on in a little bit greater capacity sometimes. Unfortunately, when this is supposed to be the most joyous time of the year, it brings a lot of us down. So
especially if you're Italian.
Yeah.
Woo!
Whoa.
Psycho.
Okay. So Michael's experience. I honestly don't, and I'm being super transparent and honest always, as I am with you guys. I don't think I've ever really been truly depressed at the holidays, other than my dad passed away in 1993. Was it 93 or 94? It was 93 or 94. It was in May, and then I want to say it was probably the first two Christmases after his passing.
Sure. That
there was just definitely a little bit more of a sadness, not maybe depression so much, but there was definitely sadness. And how we got through that at that time was we kept him alive in the
His
spirit
alive.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we talked about him and we watched videos and we cried and we bawled a ton, but it's what we needed to do. We needed to do that. And communication is huge, and that's one of the things that we're going to talk about today. But Michael, very specifically, before we go anywhere though, tell us how you're doing post heart attack 6 weeks out.
Okay.
Give us an update.
So obviously I had to make some tweaks in my lifestyle. One of the things both the cardiology department in Rochester General and down here at New Braunfels Cardiology said was that because of my healthy lifestyle and my physical fitness shape at that time, that actually helped keep me strong through the whole heart attack. So where I didn't cause a lot of damage, if any, and I don't have any damage, so I'm blessed with that.
Yeah.
So the lifestyle was important, but it just goes to prove it doesn't matter what you look like and how tall you are or what your race is or ethnic background. If you're a plaque builder, you will build plaque. I had a conversation with a friend in the neighborhood yesterday. He said at 30 years old, he went into the emergency room and thought he was having a heart attack. He was having a panic attack, but he does have family history.
Yeah.
And when he told me about father, grandfather, grandmother, what have you, of his family history, they were all in their early 40s, early 50s having heart attacks. So heart disease runs in his family. But to see him slim, lean, fit, active, but if you're a plaque builder, you're a plaque builder, and I am, and we are in my family, but yet we've never had a big history. Okay, so what am I doing? Well, had to tweak food right away. So any saturated fats, I was eating meat a very, very high volume every week. Maybe I had 5-6 steaks a week.
Wow.
Because steak keeps me big. There's creatine in steak, and I like it. So as a bodybuilder and as somebody who likes to keep mass on my body, I always went there. I do have a weakness for cheese. And there's the worst kind of fat, it tastes delicious, but that saturated fat can clog arteries. And of course, as my wife knows, I have sweet teeth, not a tooth. And I would grab a pastry here, a pastry there, and I would validate and justify it as I grabbed a coffee, whether I was driving from Indiana to Pennsylvania or getting on a plane from San Antonio to Rochester, Buffalo. Because, look, I'm sure that 10,000 other men and maybe women that I have passed in the last year in airports probably also had a heart attack since then, because it is a stressful lifestyle. So certain things have to be done and adjusted. So the travel, I am weighing that out right now on all my travel. Going away, being in airports for a living may not be the best thing for my health right now. So I cleaned up the food. You want to say something?
Right. No, I'm just saying, the traveling, and there's a lot of you out there that have to travel for work. So we don't want this to be like a death sentence for you. Like, oh my God, well, what am I going to do? I have to travel for work.
Talking about me, though.
Yeah, so this was him very specifically. Like, travel is maybe not his thing. Now, Michael does not like to pack food or bring it with him. He doesn't like to carry it with him. That is a real thing that you can do. You don't have to bring stinky, smelly food. We're going to talk about food in a little bit. But you can have food with you. You can have snacks, healthy snacks. You can have things with you. You could have had a piece of fruit so that you wouldn't have had the cheesecake or something like that.
All right, so let's cut through this stuff. Let's cut through this stuff. So, my wife thinks I don't eat healthy snacks. I do. Because in this day and age, even in airports and truck stops and so forth, you can buy healthy snacks. Yeah. There's no doubt.
So the
they were had. For 40 years as a personal trainer, I have been promoting lifestyle. And part of that lifestyle has been stress, the silent killer. That's what we're talking about here. My wife is right. We're not here to scare anybody who travels. Right. You're responsible for your own health and wellness. Mm-hmm. Whether that means you've got to travel across the country to make money, that's on you. If it's not worth it to you, that's your decision as well. But
you need to manage your stress, your responsibility.
So even as I lived a healthy lifestyle 80-90% of the time, that 10-20% where I took in those foods that were not good for arteries and missing workouts.
Yeah.
That was the thing. If I had a calculator on all the workouts I missed over the last 3 years, you would see I missed probably 30-40%. Too much. However, I also was always in a rush, short on time, so I do a quick strength training workout, which spikes your heart, doesn't necessarily do the same thing cardiovascular training does, which brings me to my next adjustment. Food was one. Yeah. Next adjustment, cardiovascular training. And as Dr. Farah here at New Braunfels cardiology says, you want that duration. And I know this. Of course I know this. As fitness people, we know this.
Yeah, just weren't doing it. Yeah.
But it helps elastate or make the arteries and veins stay more pliable and open for longer periods of time. So it helps with plaque builders or anyone for stress. You have got to relieve yourself. And remember, what comes with stress is cortisol, a very important hormone that actually can work on damaging your arteries and your veins. So you got to get that out of your body. And when you take a 30, 40-minute cardio session, that helps more effectively than strength training. But now I alternate, right?
Right. Now, how would we know if we were plaque builders? I mean, is there any way anybody can really know that?
Yeah, you got to go for a sonogram.
Yeah.
And you got to go see a doctor.
So if you
Be
have
preventative.
if you have a family history, which you really don't have.
No, I don't.
Huge one.
I don't.
So you wouldn't have known. Now, cholesterol, yes, in his family, but honestly, blood work, which we always say, Michael hasn't had blood work in 3 years either, but he really wasn't looking to go run to get it because the last time he had it, his cholesterol was only 240, not terrible. He brought it down himself
To 210 before the heart attack.
So we like it under 200, but so that wasn't even really a red flag or a big issue for him.
Right.
But yeah, you should, if you know you're eating badly, if you know you're not exercising,
if you know
you're stressed, probably go get the test, guys. I mean, that's going to be your best way. I mean, of course, we're going to say change everything, change your lifestyle, and we're going to keep giving you tips. We're going to keep coming at you all the time with tips on how to do that. But you ultimately have to make that decision, and then you ultimately have to go in to a doctor and get the proper test done.
Yeah, Tina's spot on about that. Look, I even have a friend who in recent months, we work together, and he's talking to me, and he's telling me about all these symptoms. And I say, you better get in and see that doctor right now. Well, he listened to me, and he had 3 stents put in, didn't have a heart attack. Me, I had similar symptoms, didn't practice what I preach, didn't go in, and now in retrospect, by the way, from October 26th, the date of my heart attack, for the prior 30 to 60 days, I could connect the dots of every sign I had that something was not right. And one of the biggest things was low level energy. That whole week before my heart attack, I did not want to go in the gym. And that hasn't happened to me in 30 something years. A whole week, unless I purposely took it off. So I knew, but I then had the heart attack and had the stent put in afterwards. You don't want to do that. So us guys who are sometimes a little too blockheaded, please, prevention, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. You do not want the quintessential gorilla or elephant that sits on your chest when you're having a heart attack. That feeling, it was like I was under a car and I couldn't get out from underneath it. It's one of the most unnerving, uncomfortable, scary feelings you'll ever experience. So please heed my words. Our egos must be put away. Our bravado must be put aside. You have to get it's so smart. Get to a doctor and get a checkup and let them look for these signs. Blood work is obviously important. So I clean my food up. I'm exercising the way I'm supposed to. Cardio day, strength training day. If I don't feel like exercising, I take a day off. Then I go cardio, strength. That's number 1. Number 2. And number 3, taking my meds. I've got to take blood thinner, blood pressure medicine I'm not crazy about, and they've already cut my statin in half. So I'm looking, and I'm taking some other healthy natural herbs through Leslie.
Yes.
At Living Health. I feel great. I feel energized. I've never felt better. The first 4 weeks were tough.
Which is what we wanted to talk about.
I had anxiety and depression.
Yeah.
Just like everybody told me. Very often in those first 4 weeks, I thought I was having another heart attack. In fact, 2 days out of the hospital, I ended up going back in, and they said you just had a panic attack, but it felt like another heart attack. So you don't want any of that. So exercise the right way, eat the right way, live your life. You have to have balance. I'm actually now I'm reading certain books. I'm looking for help from professionals. I have never... Wise counsel. I've never been a person able to meditate. And meditation, no matter what you read... Can you even believe that?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
How you doing?
I don't know if people could believe that about you.
What are you, crazy?
Could anybody see Michael Sena? We're going to do a segment on that.
So I'm looking into certain programs that from trained professionals, because you got to shut this down. this will lead to stress here.
Yeah.
It's really all connected. So that's what I've been doing.
Okay, really great update, everybody. So that leads us into why we brought Michael on today, was because he actually has dealt with some depression, some anxiety, even prior to the heart attack, which he's going to tell you a story of his first holiday where he kind of experienced some depression, some loneliness and sadness. Right back in when we first moved here.
Let's talk 19.
We're going to talk about that, and then we're going to even talk about like what he was saying today. So now post heart attack, he dealt with a little bit more of that again. It's come up again. So, and we're going to give you some tips and some education on how you can help with that. Because again, guys, this is nothing to be ashamed about.
No,
it's nothing to be embarrassed about. We're going to tell you that a big part of communication is huge. We know a big part of everybody's anxiety these days is because they have no one to talk to. Sometimes your own spouse, you can't even go to your own spouse because you're like, they're not going to believe me, or they're not going to understand me, or I can't.
Or you're worried about scaring your spouse. Right. That you're the breadwinner maybe, and you're like, she's going to think that I can't provide for her and the kids anymore.
Right. Or he's going to think I can't take care of the kids, or I'm crazy, or whatever. Maybe you have a family member, your parents you can't talk to, whatever it is. But this is why we then encourage you to acknowledge that you're having these feelings and that you need to go seek wise counsel. And we can help you with that. I mean, contact us and we'll help talk you through how you can go about that. Right. But yes, tell us what happened your first holiday season. It was very specifically the holidays that happened.
So let's tie it in to this time of year, which, the famous song, it's the most wonderful time. Yeah, I have had some of the worst times in my life around the holidays. Now, I moved away from New York at 34 years old and moved into the great city of Chicago. It was fantastic. But as soon as I got there, and I was like, I could do this, I don't need... And I was having some trying times with my family. Family can be the butt of everyone's angst all year round, especially come the holidays. Yeah. I mean, you see all on the news lately, don't talk politics at the Thanksgiving Day table. Don't do it because you get into fights with people.
But what time of the year did you leave New York? Was it?
October 3rd, I drove into Chicago.
Okay, so it was only a couple months after you came into Chicago that you were alone for the holidays, right?
Right. Yeah. So it was my first day, and wow, the snow was this high.
Yeah.
It was the winter of '94, terrible snowstorm. I was by myself and I was broke. Money is a huge depressant in this time of year.
Oh, yeah.
No gifts, you got no money, right? Yeah. You got bill problems, challenges. You can't buy gifts. You don't feel in a giving, loving way. You're not communicating, as Tina said, with your family. Look, the umbilical cord never gets severed in life. You will always be attached to your mom and the family around her, whether they're alive or not. It's just a fact. So there is a gravitation towards our family. Now, of course, there's that expression, you could choose your friends, you can't choose your family, but you have to understand that it's okay. You don't have to get along on a friendly basis with everybody, but you want to communicate. So communication is key. I was not communicating, especially with my dad. And that, on the surface, I thought was okay, but it wasn't. The next thing I know, a month or two later, I'm in a doctor's office. I went into a panic attack where I couldn't walk out of my building, 2 East Oak Street.
Yeah.
I had to have a friend carry me into a car and drive me to a doctor. I came home, I had 5 bottles of medications there, and I was just sitting there rocking myself on the 37th floor of this amazing building, and I was pushing my head against the window, and stupid thoughts were going through my head. They just were.
Mm-hmm. What did they say at the doctor, though, to you?
I was depressed, clinically depressed.
Okay.
I had low energy. My workouts were terrible. I didn't want to work out. And I was in fantastic shape back then. I was only 34 years old.
Yeah.
And it was happening. I said, can't happen to me. Again, denial. Can't happen to me. And what I had to do was get back to basics. And I had to start going out, and I had to force myself to go out with people I trusted.
Yeah.
I had to get back in the gym. I had to flush that cortisol out. It released the endorphins,
Right.
release serotonin, and feel good, even dopamine, to help with any pain I had in my body. Because remember, with pain comes depression.
Yeah.
With a lack of sleep comes depression.
Yes.
So sleep is an issue.
Right, and not enough nutrients in your body.
Right.
Not enough nutrients in your body.
So food, activity. But funny, this morning while we were getting ready to come on the air, there was a doctor.
Yeah.
On I think it was CBS Channel 2, Good Morning, early morning, whatever it's called. And she talked about the very topic we're talking about here. And there was some interesting things that she brought up.
Tell us.
That,
what do you got?
that she says is causing, at this time of year, more so than not. Now, I didn't have social media back in 84,
right.
94 rather, sorry. 94, so that wasn't it. But what I didn't have was a sense of self-worth. It was very low. I wasn't involved and engaged in my community. And the more depressed I felt, the more introverted I got. So it just...
And lonely.
Lonely. And this leads to loneliness and depression, right? And the other was too much social media. That's what's going on now.
Yeah.
So no involvement in the community, no face-to-face interaction. So when
communication.
Right, that's what Tina means, just communication. Even just unloading on a friend or, even somebody maybe you don't know. By the way, the greatest thing you can do for anyone on this earth is not only smile, that costs you nothing, but is also to listen. Man, if you know somebody's in trouble and they're down, say, hey, how you doing today?
Yeah.
I'm not doing so well. Well, tell me about it. No, you don't want to hear it. Yeah, I do. If you could spare the time, you can save a life.
Yeah.
You can save a life. So face-to-face communication, feel good about yourself, do something. Go out, exercise, walk. You don't need a gym membership to walk. Get the hormones moving and watch your social media. I'm telling you, even watching the news and all this depressing stuff going on right now with impeaching our president and all the rest of it.
Crazy stuff going on.
Just watching it, regardless of what side you're on, you're like, oh my God, is this really going on? So you got to watch
the Peloton? Can we talk about the Peloton?
Wow.
I'm sorry, sidebar. But that's nuts because...
What would you do? Let me ask you a question. Here's a question. Hey, Peloton or
Peloton,
critic.
we
No.
love you.
Yeah, we love you. But critics of Peloton and you Me Too girls. Oh, you're just wonderful. Let me ask you a question. Suppose I gave you a Peloton this year. What would happen?
I would love that. And you might be able to get me one because I think the stock is down.
What would happen? What would happen?
Oh, you'd get lucky if you got me a Peloton.
You feel me, boys and girls?
Yeah,
Smarten up. Smarten up.
Yeah, we don't even... Who... I want some comments on that. I want some comments on what your thoughts were on that commercial. And
the girl wasn't fat. The girl wasn't overweight. The girl wasn't... She was perfect.
I think
he just gave her a gift.
Right, and what if she asked for that bike? She probably wanted it. She was pretty freaking excited about the bike.
She was. At the beginning of the first commercial, she was
excited about
as
the
hell.
bike. And now
she showed commitment to... What about heart attacks for women? That skinny woman... No, that skinny woman can have a heart attack. And maybe her husband knew she had a family history, she was stressed.
You're really going family
history
on that girl.
The first commercial, she comes home from work.
Yeah, but she wanted.
She's under stress. She was under stress. So maybe it was all a
Michael's
gift.
got her all stressed, and she had a husband and a kid.
Hey, Peloton, keep up the good work. What a shame on people.
We're gonna buy 2 this Christmas.
We're buying 2.
We're buying 2 bikes. So listen, here's some great food. For some mood enhancers. So guys, if you can get blueberries, like so easy to pick these up at the store.
Great antioxidants
Have
for
some
cancer.
blueberries. These are great mood boosters.
Yes.
Okay, so get berries and get strawberries, get raspberries, but blueberries are really, really good.
All right.
And look at if you're traveling, you can put blueberries. Nuts are also so good for you.
You can make a very healthy trail mix.
Yeah. So and dark chocolate. Oh, girls. Oh, girls. Dark chocolate. I don't know if you guys can see me. Boys. Yeah.
I'm allowed to eat dark chocolate.
But if you can make your own trail mix to take with you when you're traveling, this is so easy, guys. Come on. Don't be dumb.
Oh,
walnuts,
fantastic.
raw almonds, blueberries, some dark chocolate. You can get some dried fruit, too, which is also really good. Greens. I love greens. We don't get enough of these. Now, I take these and blend them in my shake because honestly, we are supposed to get 7 servings of fruits and vegetables a day, which is almost impossible for a lot of us. Blend these suckers. Put them in a protein shake. Blend them. Have 2 shakes. Have a shake in the morning, have one later in the evening, whatever, but blend these. Have salad with every meal if you can. You can never have too many greens. These are so good for you. Any green vegetable, asparagus, spinach, broccoli, all the greens are so good. And guys, I just made this delicious. Did you taste this?
What is that?
This is butternut squash soup. I made this homemade last
night.
I've
had it before from you.
This is so good.
Delicioso.
And this is so easy to make.
And that's muscle
food. This is really
food.
great. Yeah,
that's
this
muscle.
is so great to have on
Can I say something about blueberries? When I was a bodybuilder back in the day, and we were training right before a show, and we had to do double splits, they're called.
Yeah.
And you're exhausted after the first hour and a half of lifting thousands of pounds. And then you have to go do another body part.
Thousands.
We used to have a cup of blueberries or pineapples. I know they're high in sugar, but
good sugar.
It's good sugar.
It's good sugar.
It's called glycogen replacement. So I drained my body. I had no sugar left.
And when you're working out and exercising,
that's right.
you need that replacement.
This food. So
not sitting on your
pineapple for a sedentary, overweight, underfit person every day might not be the right thing, especially if your sugar is high. Your doctor will tell you it's high glycemic. But for somebody who's active, it's the food of life. But glycogen replacement, if you're feeling sluggish before a workout, 30 minutes before, have a quarter cup, a half a cup of these, and you'll just breathe life into your body.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so guys, when you subscribe to our email, we send you a recap of the segment, and so we're going to have all of these. We're going to have a list of all the different foods and all the tips on how you can help with your own mood. And I guess I can't hit home enough that we don't want anybody to feel embarrassed or ashamed about feeling like you're feeling. And I also want to touch on another thing. We have people that are seemingly their life looks amazing. Spouse is great, kids are great, everybody's healthy, everybody's happy, all is good in the world, money's good, literally everything is good, but they don't feel, they're sad, they're depressed, they're anxious. I've had several clients, you and I both collectively have had these clients and then individually, but we've had these clients that will look at them and people will look at them and go, what the hell is the matter with you? What are you so upset about? We can't discount those people. There is something internally inside of them that's troubling them. So even when we think that the outside looks totally perfect and great, it may not be inside. So that is something to acknowledge.
Yeah.
And to not let the people around you go, my God, what's wrong with you? I mean, you're crazy that you would not be happy. If you have that feeling, it's there for a reason and you need to address it and you need to figure.
Well, we got to go to my favorite part of the body.
Hypothalamus.
It's the hypothalamus. Remember what the hypothalamus is responsible for. The internal environment of your body. Mm-hmm. And that communicates to the pituitary gland. This is about hormones.
Yeah.
When they say, doctors say there's a chemical imbalance. It's a hormonal imbalance. Yeah. It's in the brain. Yeah. And you need to feed your body it has to release these hormones and they have to be worked through the body. You've got to produce them every day. So you have to do certain things every day to keep them going. Yeah. That's why we talk about CBD.
CBD is another supplement that you should be taking every day.
In this bottle are phytocannabinoids. In your system is an endocannabinoid system. When you ingest phytocannabinoids, your endocannabinoid system turns on and produces its own cannabinoids. I always tell people it's not what's in this bottle that's going to make you feel better. Yeah. What's in this bottle is going to turn on your own system to help you feel better and heal yourself.
Yeah. That's what your body wants.
God made our bodies able to heal themselves.
Yeah.
And this product, and there's a lot of crap out there. We're going to do more on CBD coming up soon.
Yeah, yeah.
And my producer, Christy, is going to be putting together this phenomenal series. But I'm just letting you know, when you find the right product, change your life. I mean, What's a form of depression? Taking 16 Vicodin a day? Boy, I've had a lot of issues lately, haven't I?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I had my knees replaced 3 years ago. I was on 16 Vicodin a day. Just had a heart attack. I'm married to Kukulata over here.
Oh my God, that's like the best thing you get going on for you right now.
No. So I'm challenged. I'm like your average Joe. I got issues. But you have to take care of them. And I never felt better.
Okay,
Never.
one other thing we want to say before we leave. We want to recommend, we love, one of the other things, we're breaking chairs in our kitchen right now. One other thing that we want to recommend is grabbing a good book. Again, turn off social media. Stop watching TV. Stop watching all the things.
Feed your head good stuff.
You got to stop and read. That's
so part of my
started
great.
doing.
So a great book recommended to be by my friend, our friend Heather Wilson. Heather,
shout out to
Dallas,
Heather.
we love you. Running on Empty by a PhD, Jonice Webb.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, what a book! You know what this book talks about? This book talks about the emotional neglect that all of us have experienced through our lives. It's not pointing a finger and blaming your mom and dad.
No.
It's not what they gave you or they did to you. It's what they weren't able to give to you because they were a certain type of parent, reared by certain type of parents, and that carries on. This has taken the sting out of everything I've ever thought about my mom and dad and the way they reared me. Because my dad and I had a full contact sport, not physical, emotional. But it was what he wasn't giving me. I highly recommend
But it
Running
also
on
explains what a lot of triggers are, guys.
Yeah.
So we have triggers that we don't even realize are triggers from childhood or from trauma we had in the past that we didn't even think was trauma.
Right.
We just thought it was a bad relationship, or we just thought it was a circumstance that was unfortunate. But
talks about narcissistic parents, authoritative parents I had. You do it because I told you to do it. You know, and that stuff can lead into the holidays, can lead into your anxiety and depression.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is validate it and understand it. Remember, the first step to rehabilitation is awareness.
Yes.
And then education, and then execution of new habits.
Absolutely.
Awareness, education, execution of new habits, you will be healed. That's rehabilitation.
Yes.
Physical or mental. Those are the keys, kids.
And that's on you guys.
We love you, and that's why we talk about this. Good point about the book.
So listen, get on the website, sensationallife.com. It's there. And subscribe to the email, and we will send you a recap. The store is open, so you can purchase products from us, all the things.
Tina's
protein,
brownies, treats, healthy treats.
CBD.
Our CBD, hemp CBG-based product.
Message us, though, if you have questions. We want to really help you out with how to purchase these products. And then I will have, in the next couple of weeks, we're going to have some counselors and some therapists that are going to come and talk to us, too. So make sure that you guys are tuning in. You can always watch us on YouTube as well if you can't actually catch the live. We're always
and
on
share
YouTube
it with your friends.
Yeah, please, guys. All right, we love you. Have a happy, healthy weekend.